This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to get geeky with you. Hot off of about a week and a half on the West Coast, back in Pittsburgh. I'm glad the weather is very Pittsburgh. With the first of all, my recent travel mate, the Dutters. Katie Dudas is with us.
Travel buddies coming from the West Coast in the hots, and now we're kind of chilly.
Yes. Get those sweaters, get that sinus medication, because holy crap, it hit you like a freight train, didn't it, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Thankfully, we really never had, I mean, at least I never had, but I think you were in the same boat. You never really adjusted to the time zone change.
Nope.
And was up and
yes.
into bed early. So, like, I feel like I don't feel the whole, like, jet lag of coming from the West Coast like I did with my last adventure.
Yes.
But, like, so that's one good thing.
Yeah, it was a bed by like 9 or 10 o'clock most nights, and then up at like 6, 5 sometimes. So.
Well, depending on what time zone your phone was in, 4:30.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that maybe a little bit about your fun on awesome. What the hell is happening to your phone thing? At least he didn't have the 3:30 a.m. Alarm clock I had in California that had batteries that were screwed in, so I couldn't even figure that out. And they're like, why don't you just reset the clock? And I'm like, because I only think about it at 3:30 in the morning when it wakes me up. So, and I have to work the rest of the day. So what do you want me to do? So... Like I didn't throw the damn thing against the wall. Also with us, he's with the iPhoneography podcast and also contributor for the Wrestling Mayhem show. That's going to be the official title because you do a lot of contribution to that with the video situation over there. Dave Potter is with us.
Hey, how you doing tonight, Sorg?
Oh, I think you got a little earful of how I'm doing tonight. So
I did, but you know what? Hey, it happens. Life happens.
It
right?
happens. It happens.
Life happened, and I know Chilla's not here, so we don't officially have a pumpkin time.
No pumpkin time.
But
no.
but I did bring a can of pumpkin, just so pumpkin is here.
Oh no! Oh no! He did. Oh no!
It's Pumpkin Spice AwesomeCast.
Oh no! Oh no! Hold on. Let's see. I got a button here. Let me see if I can do this here. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I got this guy right here. Sorry, I just figured out a button on here. So, anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. You can check out everything at awesomecast.com. Email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com. At Sorgatron on the Twitter. And, of course, we have a great discussion, a lot of things shared over on the AwesomeCast Facebook group. We do also have a Discord and a Reddit. You can find the Discord link over at awesomecast.com. And, of course, subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app. And, of course, we are live every Tuesday roundabout at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the AwesomeCast Facebook, on the AwesomeCast YouTube, and on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. Now, I say that because we were not live last week, and we will not be live next week, thanks to scheduling complications, apparently. But we will, of course, we like to pre-record something, and we'll have something dropped in there. Actually, there was an idea that I floated to Katie that hopefully we'll be able to record sometime this week, if I can get things to render. So, and also a shout out to our friends sharing the awesomeness over at postindustrial.com. Also, thanks to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast, our friends at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford, at the coffee club level, Matt Weller, John Carmen, Cynthia Klosky, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound, and at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner. Hey! And there's the Podner button. Sorry, this is a visual gag for you guys on audio. But anyway,
you're going to spin me like a globetrotter, right?
Yes. Well, that's. I don't have that. Don't have that effect. I'm sorry. I don't know. What does this thing do? Nope. Oh no, that's just made things blink at me. Anyways, patreon.com/awesomecast. Let's get into our awesome things of the week. Do we go travel blog first? You guys want to travel blog a little bit?
Sure.
So the first, I almost forgot about this until I was going through things, since this was like a week and a half ago. But of course, the first, I like to get in a little bit early there on these events. Oh, I'm not logged in. What the heck? I like to get in early on these events. Let's turn off the Dave button. Oh, great! Now there's a car alarm right in front of the studio. Like literally right in front of the studio. So that's great. I hope they get it soon. Anyways, I like to get in a little early and check out the area, and I'd never been to the Silicon Valley, so of course I had to visit the home offices, the homeland, if you will. Now I did attempt to visit the mothership. The Apple campus. You can't actually get terribly close. See, that's as close as I can get if you got the picture there. That is the roof of the spaceship of the Apple campus. This is a deck on the second floor of they have basically an Apple Park Visitor Center. Oh, I forgot to bring something in here to show off. I'll get to that in a second. So that's all you can get. And through the trees, and I drove like 3/4 of the way around this thing, and all you can see is just a little bit of it through the trees. It's really obscured, right? Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. But let's see if we go through here. Sorry, things are a little discombobulated tonight, so I'm trying to figure out where all my buttons are. So yeah, it's basically an Apple store. The middle is an Apple store kind of thing, as you would expect. But they do have a specific merchandise like that. That's actually the shirt I got. Was that this Apple Park Circle shirt? I was trying to get some other ones, but there's these nice art designs, but a lot of them were out in my size, unfortunately. And also, if you'll see under there, I wanted to bring this in. I know, Katie, you got to see it. They actually, you can get totes or T-shirts with all these designs, and there are these little boxes that are underneath there. So they have like Apple packaging for the T-shirts in the box, which was kind of fun. Again, still haven't opened it yet. I just kind of wanted to do an unboxing. And this was a cool thing. They have this diorama of the Apple campus, and somebody hands you an iPad, and you have a nice little AR thing going on there, so you can take a little bit of a virtual tour of what things look like there. I'm holding up a phone to an iPad, so this is a little wonky. But you go in there, and you can walk around this whole thing, see the campus up close. You can flip your finger on a building, and the roof will pop up wherever you're at. So yeah, they're just popping up the center of the spaceship itself. So that was pretty cool. And then the other end has a little cafe, so I got a little bit of a coffee while I was at it. And this is video from, where was it? Oh yeah, this is video from the top up there. A little pan of the campus, what you could see of the spaceship, and that was the Apple campus. It was funny because I think I talked to oh geez, why is this not working? Oh, that's because it was here. Okay, so there you go. Okay, I was talking to somebody, and like other than Google having something, like I said, like nobody else does anything like this. Like Facebook, all you can do is get a picture in front of the sign. I was talking to the guy at Apple about it. And then of course Google, you can actually walk around the campus. If I can get this back up. And the unfortunate part is, like, they have an Android garden where they have all the Android statues. and they're supposed to have a Google store as well, but that was actually under construction. You got to walk through. Let me get to the pictures of that. I think these are just Androids. Oh, there you go. You get to walk through like the Googleplex, like the main. They of course, they have. If you look at the map, like they got office buildings for like miles, like throughout Mountain View and all over the place, right? But generally, nope, that's the wrong button. Let's do this one. Generally, yeah, you could walk right through the middle of the campus. That's the Googleplex. There's walking through. There's a cafe to the right. There's volleyball courts. There's this dinosaur skeleton going on, and you can see the volleyball. There was active volleyball happening when I was coming through. And then there's a lot of construction going on. And then eventually, they did put the Androids out. There's what was the one with the Band-Aid on it? What was that for? Was that for vaccinations or something that they did? Like maybe a health app or something like that. But that's the first one I found, and of course I did find what is is it Lollipop? I guess it would be Lollipop, wouldn't it? And the Jelly Bean one, and took some pictures of that. There's the Honeycomb one around the demonstration park that I found, and there's the Kit Kat one too. So it was kind of cool that you could walk through that. Again, and it turned into my hike too, because one thing I'm loving is the Apple Watch. If you were like, you've been walking for about 15 minutes, you'd be like, hi, you want to count this as your workout? And I was like, sure. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to go 2 miles now. The Google campus was cool. Again, it's sprawling all over the place. There's an amphitheater. I don't know if they're rebuilding or whatever the case may be, because I'm not familiar. I know there was like sort of an amphitheater or something in the area where they used to do the Google I/Os, I guess. So, but there's all these bike paths and everything all through there. Very walkable, very, very, very bikeable. You'd love it, Dave. But and that's one thing I know is around San Jose, around San Diego especially, like bike lanes were everywhere and integrated and great. But again, it's something that you can use year round, and it's not as crazy of a terrain as we have here in Pittsburgh, of course. But it was really cool to see that. And other than that, San Jose was it was fun, and we got to, of course, do the workshop at the Fremont near the Fremont plant for Tesla across the street at the training center. So it was good to work with some of the Tesla people. Around that, I was doing the video of those sessions for the Formula SAE competition, as we're trying to build up that participation in that, I guess, and it was cool to like have Tesla people there talking about the mechanical engineering problems, talking about the problems they have with battery and the way they have to design differently and things like that. And of course, they had somebody from SpaceX. They have the usual people that are involved with Formula SAE, as far as like the judges' rules and design people, right? So, but there was about 250 kids, I think, there. So that was really cool. I talked to a few of them. Of course, the EV is in June. The EV part of the competition is in June in Michigan for Formula SAE. We usually get, and Dave, you might know this number than me. I think I heard about maybe 20 cars were registered last year. And then Katie, you saw the cars in person, because I know I had to go do something else. Like I think about 5 or 6 get on the track regularly on these things. So it's a big problem to solve, and a lot of people don't get wheels to the track on the dynamic days. So that's hopefully, and again, some of the kids I talked to, they were talking about how like we're interested. It's going to be a couple years, and it was actually recommended that especially if you already had an internal combustion team, that you can start designing now for like a two-year perspective out to actually get something running, because this is some high level stuff going on here. So, and that's and that's really cool to see. Like anytime I hear a conversation about how like EV's not going to make it, there's so many problems with it, there's so many problems that need to get solved. There's 250 kids out in that room that are going to be part of solving that problem, and seeing all the people and hearing about how many engineers that are at things like Tesla plus every other car manufacturer. Like the problem's going to get solved. Like it's going to get cracked. There's enough brain power apply to this kind of thing, and this is going to be the I mean, it's the next wave. And it's pretty cool to be to kind of witness the kind of forefront of where that's being kind of worked out there over the weekend, or over 2 weekends ago. So that was the big thing there. As probably my biggest geeky thing is the Silicon Valley experience. I went for a stroll and walked by, happened across the site of WrestleMania where the Niners play while I was listening to an audiobook talking about doing a segment at that exact show. That was really weird, but no, really cool experience there. Love that. Love San Diego. Haven't been back since 2016. Just as cool as I remembered, and even better that I had a car this time. And of course, you know, Arizona, we had a great time at the Caterpillar facility with Baja SAE, the first fall event. Next year will not be nearly as interesting because we're only going to Ohio. So instead of the desert in the fall. So but other than that, no, it was a blast for that. Katie, you were probably with me on the more boring part of the trip in relation, other than we didn't see a lot of giant 3-story Caterpillar machines and crane gaming Baja cars out of the rocks and things like that.
Big cats and cactuses.
The big cats and cactuses. That's right.
That was our trip.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, I don't want to get too much into it because actually it's one of the ideas we had was to maybe talk a little bit in depth about these trips and what we've been seeing. So, anyways, so that's the biggest thing there. I don't know, Katie, was there any awesome thing that we came across in Arizona? I know more you were contending with technology problems.
Yeah, it was all unawesome things. Oop. Like when do we talk about our unawesome things later in the show?
There's a few of them on this list, actually, strangely enough. So, but anyways, but I don't know. It was, you know, just the terrain, just being able to see for like miles. Like I looked up the
that was cool.
I looked up the visibility at one point, and it said 27 miles. And then where we were in this kind of valley, I guess. At the training facility for Caterpillar, and I've been to the one in Peoria as well for another one of these events, and we could just see mountains, and we just kept seeing rain going by, and we're just like, is it coming at us? I don't know, you know. So it was pretty ridiculous, but anyway.
Yeah, no, it was a gorgeous place. Like I think like between the mountains and like you said, like being able to see for distances, and we saw rainbows, which apparently we found out is pretty rare out there because they don't get a lot of rain, and I get it, it's a desert, but at the same time, it's stuff you don't think about when you're used to PA and getting to see rainbows pretty frequently. So that was a cool experience for us.
There's a shot of the if you're with us on the car being connected. So I love the Momentum SAE magazine person hit me up. There's a big 3-story ones. Hit me up about the picture, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna get the pro ones real soon. Don't worry about that." There's our action shot. There's our Cowboy Bebop action shot in media. So, and then that's just the trail I walked. So, anyways, Katie, what is your awesome thing of the week?
It is these pumpkin spice ice creams.
Oh, jeez.
I was excited. Ponder had a pumpkin thing, so I pulled out a pumpkin thing that I had. This is not my awesome thing, but these are awesome. They're called Mad Minis ice cream cookie sandwiches, pumpkin spice, 60 calories. Wow, no junk. At your Aldi.
I'm putting that on my Instacart.
Hello.
Aldi.
What was that name again?
Delicious.
Hold on. Mad Minis pumpkins, especially the 60 calories.
Mm-hmm. There are other flavors too, if you're into them, I guess. But you know, subject to your particular Aldi location. But big thumbs up. I really enjoyed these. So, in case you're wondering, you need these in your life. So, Mad Minis pumpkin spice ice cream cookie sandwiches. My actual awesome thing of the week. It's a tech awesome thing. A cookie awesome thing is always the best. MailChimp. If you are the person at your organization, or if this is the thing you do, is where you send the email newsletters, the email blasts, the whatever your company calls them, MailChimp today and the next couple days is hosting a guest less, sell more marketing success season like training. It's a really cool thing. I didn't pull up a particular article, but MailChimp has definitely expanded out to more social media involvement and integration. And today was day one of their marketing success season presentation. And the big things, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch everything in depth because I was trying to play catch up with work, being back. We did not get in until very late or early this morning. So it was like, after 1 a.m. And so today was like no sleep, catch up with work. How much coffee can you drink? Listening to this in the background, and a few things that they brought up that I was pretty excited to hear was there is more content optimization, as in they're going to offer more like smarter AI recommendations within the suggestions for the imagery to put into your newsletter or the verbiage that you use, even tone, which is super exciting to hear about, that they're going to help you kind of improve the tone of your newsletters, your email blasts. And also the other one is the content generation rolling out over the next week is in both standard and premium, because I wrote that down. They're going to help you generate your preview, your subject, and your subheading in your emails, which is, if you've ever had to send out an email, you kind of, in this particular, like a newsletter or e-blast, you know that you have to like, okay, I have a subject. All right, now what's the preview text? What's the subheading? And like you're trying to, like, sometimes you end up feeling like you're rewarding the same thing like 3 different ways, but depending on your client. But this is going to help you create this content, which is super helpful, because it's one of those, like, I don't be like monotonous things, but it's like you're feeling good about your email, and then you're like, got to make sure these are good. And then later on, they're going to be releasing the image alt text generator too, which will be great because we should be including our alt text with all of our images, website, email, blast, social media, so that everyone is able to access our particular content. So this is really exciting too. So it's really cool to see MailChimp being so proactive with a lot of this. And I have not seen them. I mean, I've not really, honestly, it kind of, MailChimp has always been a thing that's there, if that makes sense. Like, this is a thing I use and I've used, but this is the first time I've really seen that they were going out with these trainings. And there's still 2 more days of it. Like tomorrow, for example, if you're looking through driving results through experimentation, growing your audience by sending what matters most, how first-party data can improve your omnichannel approach, and then automations through Customer Journey Builder, which is the one I'm looking forward to. You can build up these better automations using their Customer Journey Builder. Like, you select the journey your customer goes on, and they're going to try to help you build some better automations. And then I think, what is it? The next day, what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can almost tell you what day of the week it is. Segmentation is the big one that I'm looking forward to, and then insights. But like, I if you've ever tried to separate your customers into different segments, sometimes that gets a little confusing, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent. I'm trying to send the link to Missy right now.
Yeah,
so she can
it's great.
Up on all that stuff.
I'm really hoping that they have recorded. I'm assuming, I didn't see anywhere specifically, but a lot of times these companies will record it so you can watch them again later. Because like I said, I was listening in the background while trying to do 15 other client things today. And so I wasn't paying as good attention, but there were things that, like I said, caught my ear, and I was pretty excited to hear them. It will make my job easier.
The usual. Excellent. So go check that out. So that's marketing sections success season. I don't know if there's anything we'll have the link for it, of course, in the show notes. So, but yeah, get on that. How many days was they running again?
Today through Thursday. So it's 3 days.
Excellent.
And is it available after the fact as a recording?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't specifically hear anyone mention it, but I'm not. I did register. With these things, I often, even if I can't attend them, I will register, because they will more likely send you in case you didn't get want to take another look. That's a pro tip too. If you can't ever, like with some of these things, if you can't attend as it's happening, a lot of times I still sign up for it because they will send you the replay later.
I can say that that's exactly what I used to do until I got so many emails from these things, and I just like FOMO'd myself into anxiety. I'm like, I don't have time to learn new things. I can't get to this thing. No, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, a good tip. And actually, if you do have the brain space to be able to do that, it is a good tip for something like that. Just, be careful for your own mindfulness is the thing, because there's a lot of info, and sometimes, you can be too busy learning the things and not actually doing the things, I guess. I don't know if I'm saying that the right way, but you know what I mean, right, Katie?
I do, but we are part of the, I don't want to say we're the minority, but we might be part of the minority at this point who are doing everything across the board, where some folks get the specialization of just being in charge of sending out the email newsletters, or being in charge of a company's LinkedIn or a single channel.
Doing one channel? That sounds boring.
I'm like, I would love to see the percentages. Like, how many folks are like doing versus like
we are absolutely nutballs to be doing video and photography on an event across the country, coming back and making sure our newsletters are okay, and a series and a show is going out every week. I mean, 3 or 4, and sometimes we trip. I mean, there's a lot of tripping happening in this last week. So, but it's part of that, is learning how to do that and grow and all the things, and deciding which projects you keep and which ones you don't, and whatever that is. So, anyway,
violating terms of services here and there.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about that?
Well, so let's all ponder off this.
Okay, that's for the Patreon. We'll talk about how we violated TOSs at 10,000 feet. Anyway. Yeah. Katie's telling me this thing, and I'm like, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Well, I didn't know beforehand.
We'll talk about that later. Dave Bonner, tell us how you've violated a TOS lately. Or your awesome thing of the week.
I'll say, I thought we were holding that off for the only awesome section.
Only awesomes, yes. What is your awesome thing of the week?
Well, I have 2 things. Mm-hmm. First of all, this week is Customer Service Appreciation Week. And it is a national thing. Mm-hmm. So if you happen to be working with someone in customer service, just first of all, say thank you. Because customer service gets screwed over a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Even not on purpose, it just happens. When it says flows downhill, a lot of times customer service is the downhill.
Yes.
Where things stop because things need to get done.
Square in the downhill.
Exactly. So one thing that our boss has done for everyone in our team at SAE, she asked us before, said, well, I'm trying to get stuff together. We're still mostly remote. Some of us are going in some days a week, but it's not as easy as it used to be, where we were all in the office and we could do things together as a group. So she said, do you want a headset or do you want an office chair? And everyone generally said, well, headset. Office chairs are nice, but most people already have office chairs for their home office, and so we've been working from home for 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And headsets you can use anywhere. So this is the headset I'm wearing right now, and she picked it because one of our agents was using it already. It's let me get the big old box here. The Logitech G935 gaming headset. Exactly, yeah. So I decided not to use it for my customer service job, mainly because this thing's a little on the heavy side. Mm-hmm. And you figure if I'm on the phone 8+ hours a day, this, I don't want to get anything. Of course, it would, that just may be that. And this thing sounds pretty good. And I don't want to say waste, but what I'm doing is talking to people on the telephone. I don't need 7.1 surround sound to talk to people on the phone. However, if I want to watch some YouTube videos, mm-hmm. Or watch some TV on, since you can, for most cable systems, you can watch regular TV, and I want to watch it in much better quality wirelessly, I'll go with this. Now on the back here, I'm going to take this off for a second.
Ooh.
So we got
the light glowing.
Yep.
Nice.
The light, and unfortunately, it's only in the back, but it's color changing lights in the back.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a nice look at it. You can either do Bluetooth or you can plug it in. So it does have like the old fashioned, 3.5 prong. So if you have like a game, more of a handheld device or something else, you can use it with that. And it is rechargeable. So it's a rechargeable battery. One thing that kind of threw me off, I put it on. I didn't realize. Of course, this is the first set of higher end headsets I've ever had. Especially the over the ears, because normally I use the in ear for running. And I put it on. I'm like, well, I don't hear anything. Did I get a lemon? I know it happens. And I didn't realize, oh, there's an on off button on here in the back. It's kind of hidden to see. So I was like, oh, okay, so I can hear, but then all of a sudden, none of the audio was working. And I said, well, there was no microphone sticking out. And I'm like, okay, is it a hidden one? Was there like little microphone, little things here? And I didn't realize the microphone here folds up into the headset itself for storage. So this thing actually, there we go.
So it was like a little bit of a puzzle for you. Exactly.
And because the picture shows it sticking, I'm like, where does it sticking out at? And of course, there are no directions. There literally are no directions included. But this is a really good fit. It has, good padding around here. This is a very high. I like this. This is feels
apparently
really nice.
they tested this in some very fancy looking.
Very nice fancy
video.
Looking, yes.
I like there's a dummy wearing the headphones in the room, and it looks like the dummy that you're going to test like firearms on.
And so that was the one thing. And the other thing, the other thing kind of threw me off. Now, before you click on it,
that looks like a alien control device.
It does. Now you can figure out what it is now. It is the first vertical mouse I ever had.
Okay.
So you hold it like, there we go. You hold it like this, basically vertically. They say it's almost like a handshake maneuver, and it is optical. And you can connect it up to multiple computers, but I don't know how. I guess you need different receivers for each computer, because it is Bluetooth. And it's something I'm starting to get used to. It is very comfortable in the hand, and like I said, it is completely different from how I've ever used the mouse before.
She's smiling doing her newsletters.
Hi there. I haven't used the inside buttons. There's 2 buttons on the thumb that you can customize, and a button on the back. But yeah, supposedly it's more ergonomic and it works better. Yeah, it's like I said, the first time I saw it, it's like, this is, I don't know if the ergonomics.
Apparently, it makes people want to dance according to this video.
Exactly.
What is happening here?
Yeah. And it comes in colors.
Oh, you didn't get the pink one?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, I appreciate because, it is something where it isn't just, hey, here's something to get as appreciation, but it's, hey, here's something that you can either use not on your job or do it in your job, and maybe this will help make it a little bit easier on you. And like I said, like I said, I've never saw a vertical mouse before. So it was something something brand new. I do remember oh god, what was it, 30 years ago when the Microsoft ergonomic keyboard came out, that you basically hunched over it the way that
Yeah,
your hands
it
were.
was like putting your hands on the oh man, what are those sci-fi things where there's like a globe and you put your hands on the side of it and you like it's keyboard buttons. You know, I know you. I've seen this mechanism in several movies.
Yeah, I think it was the Star Trek one where they had to put their hand on the globe to maneuver stuff around.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, well, this is the way your hands normally go if you just rest your hands, and that's so much easier than trying to keep your hands straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasted a little bit before people were like, yeah, it's I can't type as fast. And I don't know if the same way is going to be with the mouse, but the mouse it is a very nice mouse, and I've used it only like a day. Today was the first day using it, and I'm getting used to it. It works well, has good touch and everything else. It's another Logitech device, so generally I've always had luck with Logitech, but just something a little different and new things.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Well, now that you're wrist protected over there, Katie, I checked. It only comes in black, rose, and white.
No purple.
No, so nothing to match our array of devices. So Katie, I had to watch because we both have purple covers for our Mac, although hers is cooler than mine. So
I'll send you like we'll be twinsies again.
Oh yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need, is to confuse our most expensive hardware. So anyways, you know what's not confusing? Coming home and then getting a good slice of pizza. Listen, I had some pizza out there, and it was fine. It was fine. It was good pizza. It was perfectly serviceable and recognizable as pizza. Shout out to Gay 90s in, I don't know what town I was. Pleasanton? Is that doesn't sound like a real town. Anyways, Slice on Broadway. It's good to come home and eat pizza that tastes like it's from somewhere else. So New York City style yins are made. Our friends at Beachview, Carnegie, the East End, and the North Hills. Give a shout out to our friends over there helping feeding our guests that do come into the studio here whenever we actually do have a show in the studio here lately. So check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. All right, guys, what do you want to hit up on the back half here? Let's not get to the sad stuff just yet. Let's see. Here. This is a good palate cleanser here. Missy sent this one. Of course, we're all concerned about automated cars and everything like that, but this was, I forget, it will tell me in a second here what country this is from, but the answer is to put googly eyes on the automated cars. The idea is that when you're looking across the street, you kind of make eye contact with the driver, right? To know if they kind of notice you and you're good to go. But you have an automated car, you don't really have you don't know if the car actually saw you. So they're putting big googly eyes on their automated cars to and the eyes move to the direction that it's seeing. So if it sees a person, the car is going to look at you as you cross the street. Yeah. It's both great and kind of scary at the same time. In here, I don't know. Katie, what do you think of the Google eyes?
Could you imagine if they were like cat eyes, like the little?
Right. This is an Australian news site, by the way. So it looks like they're doing it down there.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things that we're like, this is gonna be super cute, and everybody's like, this is terrifying.
Abort.
I don't like this.
I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely. I mean, it's not practical, but it looks fun. It does look fun, and honestly, as a proof of concept of a way to, just a way to say, hey, there is a person there. Yes, we see you there, person, versus the big googly eyes, and it said Japanese engineers. So I don't know if they were going for the whole, Japanese cartoon look with the big eyes.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a different sensibility there, right? I mean, you can tell if you watch their programming or their pro wrestling. So, like, we're a little bit familiar with that. So, no, that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is one thing that I like about how cars are going now, is that you're getting weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember years ago, people were complaining all the cars look the same because they all have to be aerodynamic. All the cars have this jelly bean look. Well, things are looking different.
You know, and that's happening on the early design stuff. There was a comment about I forget if it was in the award ceremony or in one of the interviews that we did, but they talked about how, we thought after 30, 40 years of Baja, everything's going to just start looking the same, but there's still variety in design.
Right.
Still to this day. So that's kind of a fun thing, and same thing kind of happens with Formula as well, which, that informs, what kind of goes into consumer cars. So I want to add one thing, one experience that I had being out there, of course, being in, I don't think it's just because we were close to a Tesla facility. I think it was just California in general. I swear it was like 40% Teslas that you run around, or other electric cars or anything like that. But mostly the ones you notice are Tesla. But I don't know how many times over the last week and a half I was in a parking lot and you heard the that light tone that like that EVs make, because remember they're very quiet, and you need you need some kind of noise to let people know they're coming, kind of thing, for an awareness. That was really interesting to experience over and over and over and over again after a while, right? From like, what the hell is that noise, to, oh, that's another Tesla, like it was interesting to get acclimated to something like that, I guess. As we were out there, and again, just between San Diego and Silicon Valley, of course Silicon Valley, they were just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So, and to the point where even the ones that weren't Teslas, I'm just like, is that, and half of them were hybrids and things like that. Definitely more hybrids than I see around here. So, but no, that was kind of a fun note from that. So, to tell me about Happy Meal toys, because one of the things that went sideways for me today was trying to get somebody a Happy Meal, and we noticed the signs for adult Happy Meals. Apparently, what the heck is going on with these?
And this is something I saw first on TikTok yesterday with one person picking it up, and then I heard it mentioned on the morning stream with Scott Johnson and Brian Ibbett, talking about how McDonald's has this cactus plant flea market, which I don't know what that is. I don't know why they have double eyes.
Yeah. So it's Grimace the Hamburglar. I can't remember the Birdie. Birdie. Her name's Birdie. That's right.
Literally, it's Birdie. Yeah.
And then just like a clay McDonald's shirt kid.
It's called Cactus Buddy.
Cactus Buddy. Okay.
Yeah, it's near the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Why the double eyes? I also don't understand. Cactus Plant Flea Market. It's a street. They call it a streetwear brand, so maybe that's why
that must be
somehow related to that.
That must be it.
I'm old, so who knows?
But
you hello, fellow children. But if you look at first of all, I did buy a Happy Meal recently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There are a lot of Happy Meal toys coming into this house. I can tell you that. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, but I'm saying the kid size Happy Meal, which is a burger, fries, and drink. That's enough food, to be honest. I know no one wants to hear that, but a burger, fries, a small fry, and a drink. If you're having that for lunch, that's enough food for you. As an adult, that's really enough food. However, because it's adult, you either get a Big Mac or 10-piece nuggets and fries and a drink. So you actually do get a full McDonald's, kind of like a value meal. And of course, because every McDonald's is different, everyone pays different. That you can't really say it's this much. So, but it's just something that is, like I said, they're not calling it an adult Happy Meal, but it's an adult Happy Meal.
Right. Right.
And it's good marketing. Honestly, it's good marketing. It gets people's attention. And they also said there's also merch like hoodies, sweatshirts, and T-shirts for sale.
Jeez. Oh boy!
And if you order one of the boxes through the app, you get entered into the merch giveaway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'll say this: if you do order from McDonald's or really any fast food, get the app. Just because I have the McDonald's app, and it's not that hard to get free food or buy one get one or something where it can save you money.
Absolutely. That's the reason we got a Happy Meal today, because it was apparently free. Oh, well, wrong button. There we go. It was free. So yeah. And when you were at that early morning flight at the airport, and there's a line wrapped around the airport to the McDonald's because it's the only thing that's open, and you get to walk by literally 100 people and go pick up your breakfast, it is worthwhile. It's the only reason I would still have it on my phone, and I've actually have since deleted it because of personal life changes. Let's just say.
Yep. Understood.
You know, if it becomes too easy to get the bad thing, then it's a problem. But still, in something like that, in any of those with an app, Katie, we were so excited that the Starbucks in Las Vegas airport actually used the app, because half the time it doesn't. I know that you can't use it in the. I only know if I can pay for it in the Pittsburgh airport on Dunkin'. So like it just saves you so much. What's that?
I said you can't use the app at all.
You can't use it at all. Like, it's like, are you really a Dunkin'? Are you really a Dunkin'? And we've had experiences with these fake Dunkins before. Yes, it's a thing. It's for real. And they say, there's a Dunkin' Donuts here. And it's like, no, sir, this is a gas station with a coffee station that's disgusting and has a Dunkin' Donuts logo on everything. It's not.
Really, it's not.
Thanks, Eastern Ohio. But... anyways, I have a feeling we'll be picking on those up very, very soon. Looking at the time, Katie, you know what? This is the Festivus portion of the show. Because you had, and I think people, like, that's not as awesome, but I think people will be entertained and also informed by your issues you've been having.
Oh, yes. So I own an iPhone 13 Pro, so I should probably start with that. Not that I'm not against it, but just letting you know that I have a newer phone. I did a photographic event, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, for a client. The next day, so my phone said it backed up at 2:30 in the morning. The next day, the event ended at 9 o'clock. You don't need to know specifics, just know there was a decent amount of time between. And I had to do a hard reset on my phone, wipe it. And it turned out that only half of the event photos made it to my iCloud. Not specifically like the last group of photos, not specifically any, it's very chaotic, like the ones that made the cut and the ones that didn't, and was not appreciated. I did not appreciate their selection, let's put it that way. So I spent a chunk of the last week trying to figure out if there's a way to get them back, if there's anything I could do, and tried every trick I saw on the internet. I've done 1,000 different things. Today I finally wiped it again and went to I updated to the latest OS, because I had been waiting till I was done traveling. And the completely ironic thing is if I would have done it before traveling, this never would have happened, because the reason I needed to wipe it would have been easily remedied by the new iOS. But let's not think about that. It makes me want to vomit everywhere. So that was one of the big things. So much vomit. Like so the other weird thing that my phone decided to do while we were in Arizona, a state with one time zone,
and carried over to your watch because of the sync, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over to my watch. In Arizona, the state with one time zone, we went to Target, and I jumped forward an hour, which was very confusing, as I was already confused about the time of day and the early sunsets anyways. at the hotel where I was on the Wi-Fi, so it wasn't like a change in like location. I would go to bed, everything would seem normal, and at some point during the night, I would jump an hour. So I would wake up and my alarm, which I thought was set for 5:30, because I had to get some work in before the other work. I would get on the computer, and the computer said 4:30 in the morning, and I was like, "What the heck is happening?" And I would have to Google what time is it in Arizona.
And I'm like, man, I guess she really wants to get a jump on the day over there. I'm going back to sleep.
Nope. So that happened multiple times.
Yeah.
I think almost every day we were there, we'd wake up and I would be an hour off, and it would stick for a while. Like, it wasn't like it was, at just the same time, but it would stick for a while, and eventually I'd be like, "What time is it?" And you would tell me, and I'd be like, "I have the right time. This is exciting." So that, my phone is having some sort of crisis, and I think we should break up.
So Steve's in the chat room, and by the way, great to see Steve and Amanda and Veronica last week as well. He's saying, Dutters, your phone kept going wonky because Arizona's split on observation of daylight savings time, and depending on where you're at, also some of the reservations. And it's that came up before, and we looked it up, right?
Yeah, we did, and it's the Wi-Fi issue is the fact it was happening on Wi-Fi at the hotel was the one that was like, "I'm not moving. I'm going to bed. It's right. I'm waking up. It's wrong. What are you doing during the night?"
Yeah, but and also it was happening to yours and didn't happen to any of my devices for the duration of the trip.
Not at all.
And I didn't experience that when I was there about a year and a half ago either. So yeah, although it took me about 3 days before I figured out what time zone I was actually in, because I remember I was sitting there, something was happening that was set for 5 o'clock, and I was like, and I saw somebody post something, and I was like, oh, somebody's gonna jump on this, and I did like the time, and I'm like, oh, I only thought I was 2 time zones away. So, yeah.
Did not like.
But no, there is a daylight savings time issue as well. But I don't know that affected us, and I saw no indication we were near reservations. So I could see how that could be confusing, because I know when we crossed the date line going to Chicago through like on the other end of Indiana, like it takes a while to snap, right? Like, because you're on the previous phone. So like this, I think we talked about, like, maybe there's one on a different thing and the wind's blowing the right way and you're getting on that tower and it's screwing up your time or something, right? But that still does not seem right. Steve's saying on our drive out to Arizona, Amanda and her phone did the same thing. We had to set the car time. So I don't recall it happening, at least in November when I went a couple years ago. So but we were just kind of rolling with it, I guess, at that point. I don't know if we would have noticed at that point, but yeah. So.
And I will say that Arizona is weird with the daylight savings time.
Yes, they are. Yes, they
because it's nested. Mm-hmm. The state does one thing, the one reservation does another, and the reservation inside that reservation does what the state does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it is goofed up. So we were kind of hoping, remember earlier this year they were talking about setting daylight savings time so we wouldn't have to go back and forth.
Is that still in process?
Apparently I died.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. End the madness. That's when we know politicians will actually be getting things done, when they take care of things that actually affect us, like daylight savings time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Katie, thank you for spreading your ales with us.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm done. I think I'm, like I told you, I think I'm just gonna grow things on a farm and barter. I'm just done with technology.
Just gonna Animal Farm or Animal Crossing real life kind of thing, and make friends.
Sounds good to me.
Make friends with a raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, I don't know if you saw any of the movie I was watching last night on the plane.
Oh, I looked over at one point. I'm like, wow, this looks amazing.
Did you see the raccoon? Did you see the raccoon thing? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That was pretty messed up. So, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Go watch it. I can't tell you anything.
I've heard about it.
I didn't know much about. I mean, I saw the trailer, but man, was it wild. So it's still on. Last night I knew it's still like on like premium VOD. So I'm sure it's going to be on some streaming service very shortly. If it does, everybody needs to go watch this movie. It is so freaking good. So somebody one show I was listening to because it came out around the same time as Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, and it also deals with the multiverse concept, and they said this one deals with it a lot better than Doctor Strange did. I don't know if better. It was definitely more interesting. So yeah, I definitely recommended. Yes. Anyways, on that note, Dave Ponder, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being our fill-in, Chilla.
Always glad to be here. Thanks so much for having me on. Find me at Prof Prod at pretty much everywhere, except for TikTok, where I'm Prof Prod PGH. And I know you guys were talking about purple before, where the person who did the Green Hulk filter came out with a red and a purple filter.
Oh.
So something just a little fun and different there.
I can be the purple man, like in David Tennant in Jessica Jones. Is that too deep of a pull for people? Is everybody with me?
No? For me, unfortunately,
no?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately,
yes.
Deep.
Yeah.
Katie, you should watch Jessica Jones. It's on Disney Plus.
Yes.
It's
I have that.
First season's really good.
Before I shun technology.
Yeah. Before you shun technology, make sure you finish all your Disney Plus shows.
Got it, on it.
Katie Dudas, the Dutters, has plenty of fantastic pictures, and as I think I just sent you, she is officially posted. I mean, she's been this for a bit, but they officially posted you as the Kicking Cancer's Ass Champion on the ProspectProWrestling.com site.
I know, it's so sweet. I didn't even get a chance to respond to that. Today's been that bad.
Yes, you took the belt to Mount Zion or Zion. If we insert it as Zion.
Yes.
And
Zion, that's the proper.
And Sentinel Peak over on in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess yes. Yeah, the other one was in Utah. That's right. So follow her for her.
I'm going to get my belt like its own little with those posters where you're like all the states you've been to.
Oh yeah, I like it. It's been through a lot on these travels, and we have so many more lined up. Thank you, everybody, at Sorgatron on Twitter if you want to check out everything that's been going on with me and the big cats and cactuses of Arizona. So we'll see you next week. Again, it will be a pre-recorded episode, at least for next week. We should be, as far as I know, should be returning in 2 weeks with the live episode like this. And we'll see you guys next time. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.